Hey, what's up? This is Diesel, and I was recommended to do a rebooking for Bret Hart if he stayed in WWE and never left for WCW. So, I'm gonna do that. And okay, this rebooking, I have actually had it broken into two parts, maybe even three parts. I'll decide. So this might be a 2 to 3 parts thing. I'll figure it out. But we're gonna start off with part one. And we're going to rebook Bret Hart if he stayed with WWE and didn't leave for WCW. Looking back, I kind of wish he never left. I mean, I feel he has so much more to offer. And I made a video talking about this saying how 98, 99, he wouldn't fit in, but 2000, 2001 Attitude Era, oh, he'd be perfect. No questions. So let's get right into this. Rebooking Bret Hart if he never left for WWE in 1997. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Ground Zero because Ground Zero and Bad Blood, that whole Patriot feud, like just what a waste of his title run, like in all seriousness. Starting off with Ground Zero, we're going to have him face Mankind in a no holds barred match. Bret Hart and Mankind, like I feel they never got to fully show off what they could do with each other. And Bret Hart to be champion and Mick Foley chasing it, you know. And Mick Foley in 96, 97, 98. Oh my God, he was tremendous in the ring. He was awesome. But no holds bar, Bret Hart versus Mick Foley. Bret Hart wins via sharpshooter, 4.5 stars. And remember when Nation of Domination and the Hart Foundation kind of feuding? Sucks they never had a 4-on-4 match. So in your house, Bad Blood, Hart Foundation versus Nation Domination. Hart Foundation goes over 4 stars. Survivor Series is still Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels and ends in a no contest. So post Survivor Series Raw, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels cut promos back and forth. The rematch is set for next week. Week after, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels goes over with the help of DX, 4-star match. Week 3, DX injures and takes out Bret the Hitman Hart. Week 4, Owen Hart challenges Shawn Michaels at In Your House DX, and Shawn Michaels accepts, cutting promos back and forth with each other, making fun of each other and stuff. Week 4, no, sorry, In Your House DX, Shawn Michaels versus Owen Hart. Shawn Michaels wins clean, 4.5 stars. Raw posts In Your House. Shawn comes out bragging. Then Bret Hart comes back and attacks Shawn Michaels. Next week, it is set for, it's been set and made for DX versus Hart Foundation. So we're going to have, for week 3, DX, Shawn, Triple H, and Chyna versus Bret Hart, British Bulldog, and Owen Hart. So yeah, week 3, DX versus Hart Foundation. Hart Foundation has on Jim Neidhart at ringside. DX has Rick Rude at ringside because, DX never left, so Rude never leaves. Anywho, match goes on. Rick Rude hits Neidhart in the head with a suitcase and helps DX score the victory. 3.5 stars, regular Raw match. Now on to 1998. Fast forward to the first Monday of January. Rex talks about how he still owed his rematch clause and makes for the Royal Rumble. Then it's turned into a ladder match because I feel had Bret Hart not left, we would have got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels for a ladder match at Royal Rumble. And the match happens. Bret Hart goes over, 5-star match. February, instead of DX versus Austin, no, sorry. Instead of DX versus Austin, Owen, Foley, and Funk, it's going to be DX with the Hart Foundation instead. So, In Your House, No Way Out, Tuesday. Sorry, No Way Out of Texas. I keep on thinking Texas and Tuesday for some reason. Yeah, In Your House, No Way Out of Texas. It's DX versus the Hart Foundation. Stone Cold Steve Austin is a special guest referee to help control all this nonsense because he's Stone Cold Steve Austin and he's the toughest SOB in the WWF. Non-sanctioned match like the original. Now instead, Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie attacks New Age Outlaws, and this is the first time in my rebooking they come back instead of in real life when they were involved in the match. So they're going to be written off for a few weeks, and they come back during this match and attack the Outlaws, which sets up the match for New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie for WrestleMania 14. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin stuns Bret Hart. Triple H pins Bret Hart and DX for the victory, adding more fuel to the fire for Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 14. Austin and Tyson still have that confrontation. Tyson sides with the Hart Foundation. Stone Cold versus Bret Hart is set for WrestleMania 14 in a no-holds-barred match. Now you're wondering, what was Shawn Michaels and Triple H do? It is very simple. So New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie. Keep that whole thing. Do not change. Not a thing. And instead, we're going to have DX versus Owen Hart and British Bulldog. And the main event, Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. DX versus British Bulldog and Owen Hart. Match happens towards the end. Who returns to help DX? X-Pac. And X-Pac returns, joins DX, helps DX wins. 5-star match because Shawn Michaels missed the WrestleMania. Owen Hart got great chemistry with Shawn Michaels. British Bulldog got great chemistry with Shawn Michaels. Owen Hart got great chemistry with Triple H. Owen Hart and Bulldog, great tag team. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, great tag team. Don't end a few matches together, still. And Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. Stone Cold wins clean, obviously, and is finally gets his first WWE title shot. Bret Hart gets mad at Mike Tyson, punches out Bret Hart. Match is 4.5 stars. I mean, Austin, he still had his neck problem, so I doubt it would have been a 5-star match, but it still would have been great for what it was. So yeah, 4.5 stars. And then after this, Bret Hart takes a break. How long Bret Hart takes a break? You're going to find out my next video. Well, yeah. Bret Hart takes a break. Oh, and a few side notes. When I say Bret Hart takes a break, he's been on the road forever. 1998 is not a fitting time period for Bret Hart either. Also, too, at this point, Bret Hart was 42 going 43. P.S. I feel Shawn Michaels would have got injured anyway, or something would have happened to him later on down the line because, Shawn Michaels was Shawn Michaels at the time. He was on a destructive path. And eventually, Owen Hart and British Bulldog split within 1998. Well, yeah. If you want to know how long I have Bret Hart out for, find out in my next video. Let me know what you think. What do you agree with, disagree with? What do you have done instead? And give me your honest feedback. And do you look forward to my part 2 of rebooking Bret Hart if he never left for WCW and stayed with the WWE? I can't wait to do that video.